They had a bunch of Republicans sitting around, isn't Trump awesome? Day before yesterday, and on Sunday, I guess. And they had this like praise Trump gathering on Fox News. There's the guy who openly hates Matt Gaetz the most, but is fine voting for Jeffrey Epstein's wingman. Lindsey Graham, Cotton. Oh, it's got like I don't know, the owl from the old Disney movies. This guy and Ted Cruz, who loves Trump because he said about his wife what Ted doesn't have the guts to say, I guess. Is that the argument now? And then the weird lady who did the little post speech in her odd little psycho kitchen, like a Stepford wife. And then the guy who's like, I'm totally not gay. See my new wife? That crowd. Okay, so they all got together to help shore up that, Trump's really doing this for the people.
Lindsey, let me go to you because
the Hannity Town Hall with GOP Senators. They booked this a couple of months ago, like right after the signing, and they're like, we should do this. This is going to be awesome. Since we can't do town halls in our own fucking cities without people throwing shit at us, maybe we just do one with Sean Hannity. We don't need our constituents. We have an audience of one. Sean fucking Thumbface Hannity.
Committee as chair.
Yeah, it's Katie Britt.
Reconciliation process, really, you're the one that triggered this, which I think is very important. Otherwise, you'd have to get the approval of the Senate parliamentarian.
Well, so it's our belief that elected officials should make big decisions, not unelected bureaucrats. I like the parliamentarian, but it's not her decision to set the baseline, it's mine.
Nobody in Doge is elected. Just for the record, I would just like to remind everyone, there's not a single elected representative in Doge at all, including Elon Musk. Not a one. All of them appointed, all of them political appointees, deep state through and fucking through.
When Democrats were in charge, they set the baseline. Under the Budget Control Act of 1974, you can spend all the money
1974.
You don't have to pay for it. But when you cut taxes after a period of time, that considers to be raising the deficit. We all know if you cut taxes, you get more money into the government.
No, we don't.
All believe that. So
yeah, there you go. You all believe that. That's different than knowing it. And there is a difference between knowing and believing. I guess this would be the reason why you don't put religion in schools, because I'd rather teach things that can be known in schools and teach things that can be believed in church or synagogues or mosques or wherever, or in a fucking local VFW basement where you guys wear your eyes wide shut masks.
By 53 of us got together and we changed the way the Washington works. From here on out, taxes will be treated as spending. They will be considered not to expire. They don't add to the debt. They add revenue to the government.
No, they don't. Again, revenue brought in will adds revenue to the government. Cutting that revenue that's coming in does not guarantee that more revenue will come in above and beyond the cuts. It just doesn't. The only way you will know if it works is when it's too late.
That decision, all these guys back me up.
Huh? The Trump tax cuts are scheduled to expire.
In December. What does it mean? $1,900 per family. If you're in business, you're going to lose.
Dude, Trump's already hitting, like, the China trade war alone is going to cost the average American $3,000. It's not going to make up for it. And if they ultimately hold on to that tariff, the price of things are going to go up so much that they're going to, that tax break that comes out of there for the upper 1% is going to be made up for by tariff revenue taken from the poor.
Reductions, expensing, child tax credit goes down by 90. We're playing with real bullets here. I just say.
Sorry, child tax credit goes what?
Expensing, child tax credit goes down by 90. We're playing with.
Child tax credit goes down by 90%.
Deductions, expensing, child tax.
Full expensing. If you're a businessman and you want to take your buddies to a strip club and write it off as entertainment, every dime spent there, awesome. Child tax credit, cut it by 90%.
It goes down by 90. We're playing with real bullets here. I just say that.
Yes, you're playing with real bullets here. Yes, you are playing Russian roulette with the livelihoods of average Americans.
The debt ceiling, the debt extension, as President Trump called it.
Fucking Euphemism City. Welcome, everybody. Come on down. It's Euphemism City. We're just going to pretend nothing is what you obviously see it is, and we're just going to rename everything, and that'll change it. All the president has to do is take a blue Sharpie and draw a line on a map, and suddenly we have fresh water for everyone. There's a river now.
We got to pay the credit card bill it comes due. If we don't put it in this bill, and we have to get 10 Democrats in the Senate to extend the debt ceiling, the price they will want will be unbelievable.
Oh, unbelievable. To extend the debt ceiling? Like, what's the price? Not extending the debt ceiling? Then what do you do? And by the way, they want to extend the debt ceiling $5 trillion so that they don't have to ask again. So they can run up the bill $5 trillion without ever having, so they can pretend they never go back to the well. So it just becomes, it's not a news story. You just watch the debt go up. And unless you're following it, you don't care. And most people don't, so fuck you.
They will extort everybody here. They'll extort President Trump to the people watching tonight.
I don't threaten me with a good time.
A chance to make the tax cuts permanent, fully fund the border, help the military, get the debt ceiling extended without one Democratic vote.
Extended without one Democratic vote. You mean add $5 trillion to the national debt in Trump's first fucking year as president? By the way, who the fuck thinks it's going to stop there? Are you nuts? You don't think Trump's going to burn through that in 2 fucking years? If he thinks he can pad the economy with quantitative easing, just throwing fucking money into the economy so that it guarantees he'll be handing out to fucking farmers and all this shit. It's not going to come due. So they can just give him a giant fucking slush fund and he can just chuck money everywhere to artificially prop up the election going into the midterms. That's what they're talking about here. That's what this is.
If reconciliation works 4 times in 100 years, if we screw this up, you should be really pissed.
I think you're going to screw it up. I really do. I think you're going to screw it up. And I think the House is going to help you.
Can't afford to screw this up.
Senator Cotton, your take, and where do you think we are in the process?
Well, I think we've taken an important first step last week in the Senate by passing that budget and sending it to the House. You heard the president just a few moments ago talking about the need for unity. We obviously have some differences of opinion here on this or that issue, along with
this or that issue, like whether we should spend this money or whether we shouldn't. It's a minor thing. It's like a coin flip. I don't know, $5 trillion or not.
50 or 2 other of my colleagues as well. But on this, we're all unified around the need to not just extend the 2017 tax cuts, but to improve them with some of the ideas that the president campaigned on, that we all campaigned on.
No tax tips.
Exactly.
Overtime, Social Security.
Secure our border. It's not just a security issue. It's also a quality of life issue in your communities because illegal migrants put strain on school.
See that, like, Kennedy's like, not so much.
Hospitals and other public services, making sure that we're safe abroad as well by funding our military and getting the price
$1 trillion. Trillion. $1 trillion.
Of energy down, whether it's what you pay for gas at the pump or your electricity. That's the goals that unite all of us. That's what we came together around last week with Lindsey and John Thune's leadership. And I think that's what Mike Johnson is going to have in the House later this week.
Senator Scott.
To me, this is the beginning of the blue-collar comeback. Imagine $7 trillion.
That's a great line. I wish I'd thought of that.
We can share it. We can share it. I mean, think about it, though. So many Americans feel invisible in the...
Yes, it's not about $5 trillion added to the national debt in a year. It's how you feel. You feel invisible. Well, you won't feel invisible now because we'll cover you in $100 bills like the fucking poster for Office Space.
An economy. This is the Trump economy. Think about $7 trillion descending upon the greatest nation on God's green earth.
$7 trillion descending on the greatest nation on God's green earth. Don't think of it as adding $7 trillion to the national debt. Think of it as just payola from heaven. That's what it is.
Creating high-paying high manufacturing jobs. That's
So cannabis.
$100,000+ a year coming into community.
Bullshit. Bullshit. There are not thousands upon thousands and tens of thousands or millions of fucking $100,000 a year jobs that will be brought out of countries where they assemble iPhones. That's the point.
Across this country. The first time we did it, the TCJA, we saw more revenue to the Treasury, and we saw $4,000 per family in their pockets. It's the American people's dollars. Let them keep it. This blue collar comeback, it's real because President Trump is
transferring the tax burden from the upper 1% to the poorest by raising prices, and they'll just suck it back that way.
And we need with a steel spine to get the job done.
Yeah, if you've already got if you have a spine made of actual bone, fuck you, I guess.
Countries, it's a good day in America.
Senator Cruz.
Look, failure's not an option. You look at the election.
Too late. I mean, look at your face, look at your figure, look at your suit, look at your voice, look at your podcast, look at your record.
In November, it is as clear a mandate as we've ever seen from the American people.
Really? No, Reagan had a much bigger mandate.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that I am impressed with in both the Senate and House is I think Republicans understand we have a job to do.
Yes. Gut as many red counties as you possibly can of all the support funds that they have relied on but pretend they don't need, and make sure that they all get measles.
Can't screw this up. Now, what is that job? Number one, the mandate, secure the border. That is the single clearest mandate out of this election. 12 million people invaded this country, and the American people said enough is
12? I thought it was 25. Didn't Trump say 25, 30?
And I got to say, by the way, my favorite line from the President's State of the Union address is when he pointed out, he said, you know, Joe Biden stood up here a year ago and said he couldn't secure the border without new legislation. Well, it turns out we didn't need new legislation.
Yes, you fucking do, or you wouldn't be talking about funding for it in this bill. Hold on a fucking second. This motherfucker. Then what the fuck is he talking about? Why is he talking about border funding in this bill being crucial, necessary for the president's agenda? I'll tell you why. Because the emergency powers part of it runs out, and you gotta fucking pay these soldiers. You gotta pay for the technology down there. You have to pay for the fucking gas in their ATVs. You gotta fucking pay for the coolant in their fucking air conditioning in their trucks, you fucking asshole. Of course you can't do it just by a stroke of the pen. That's the point. You have to pass a bill so it's funded. That's if you don't need it, if all you needed was a new president, then why is it in the fucking budget? Why isn't the money already there? Ugh, my God. It's just such, again, this is like patchwork, what they're doing. This is all about them just covering their, Trump's ass, because everybody knows he blinked and everybody knows this was a shit plan from the start.